Okay, question 2. Absolutely bizarre. Blows my mind, this question, as to how this went wrong. But it did. So we're going to go through it. It won't take very long to make these changes. The muscles, most of us did all right. Clearly, when you look at the picture and you've got to follow the line, the muscle at the top here is a bicep. The line, if they were going to go for the tricep, would have been like that. Okay, so even though the angle is a bit of a pain, it's clear that it's the bicep. Most of us got that one right. Same with the bottom of the leg. So we've got the hamstring. If it was the quadricep, it would have been this side, and it would have made it more obvious that it was the top of the leg. And the same with the tibialis, they would have gone to the other side of the body. So the fact that they've gone to this side of the body is telling you part of the answer. Some of you couldn't write gastrocnemius, some of you hate spelling it, so they thought, I'll just write something else. Even if it looks fairly similar to what the word gastrocnemius actually looks like, you will get the mark. So just absolutely having a go. Now this is a bit that blows my mind, is this side. Just being accurate with your explanation. So A is asking you to identify the muscles, and B states the role of each muscle. Okay, so 1 mark, easy. Bicep, hamstring, gastrocnemius. As I said, most of us did all right on that bit. The second mark, most of us missed most of these marks. So the role of the muscle. So we know muscles have a job. They can flex or extend, they can abduct, adduct, rotate, circumduct, etc., etc. So we know they're the roles of what the bones of the muscles do together. So the role of the muscle, the bicep, we know that a bicep in our arm, when we the bicep curl, for example, we know that our elbow joint gets smaller when we contract our bicep because we cause flexion. So the bit that most of you got was the flexion bit, which was great, but you didn't tell me where. So the bicep's controlling the elbow. The bicep most definitely does not control the shoulder. Okay, the deltoid does that, or the pectoral muscles help with that. So being specific at what it does, you just saying it causes flexion is inaccurate. You're not telling me where it causes flexion. Is literally by saying, oh, a car kind of does these things. You're like, yeah, but that doesn't explain its general purpose. A car enables you to transport from A to B, great. It enables you to carry multiple items, great. It's the summary of the whole thing. So you didn't have to write pages. Literally, this is what you need to put. Flexes the arm at the elbow. And by default, when you look at the hamstrings, they do the same thing, but at the knee. So just by being specific, saying what it does and where, and that's the important bit, where is it causing that? You're not saying the hamstrings help the ankles. You're not saying the hamstrings have anything to do with the hips. You're saying the hamstrings' only job is at the knee joint. And the hamstrings cause flexion, which by default means the quadriceps cause extension. Okay, that's all. So if we'd done A, this, and this B here, we would have just put extension and the rest would have been incompletely accurate. Some of you forgot that at the ankle joint, we only talk about plantar and dorsiflexion. So plantar, when we plant something into the ground, so the ankle joint goes downwards, and then dorsi, I mean, obviously I can't make these toes. When you point the toes up like a dorsal fin, so where you're looking at a shark's fin, pointing out, that's called a dorsal fin. So dorsi going upwards. So pointing in an up direction, so you want the toes to point upwards, would be dorsi. So again, we've been specific. We've talked about the ankle joint, the knee joint, and the elbow joint, and we've simply described the movement on that one. So a few of you will kick yourselves because you have got really good knowledge on what this was, and this was quite lovely. For 6 marks, where you literally had to write barely any words, that's a lovely starting question. Most of us did all right. They got 3 marks on the identification of the muscle. But the role of the muscle, I know you know it, you just didn't write it in the right context.